little videos to sort of get ready and make sure everything's going well, but it's not needed now. And let's get on with this fun stuff. How are you doing tonight, Tachyon Blue?
Good, good.
Got a .com there.
Guess who just finished Volume 2?
Oh,
Good
very nice.
good progress to cause good trouble.
Ah, yes, you former GGers, such troublemakers, even when you're trying to do good, aren't you?
Always, always. Now here we're talking about a group
Okay.
of people who might not be doing so good, or at least not be doing good in the world, so to speak.
It's complicated. It's complicated. A whole bunch of some people might consider spur drama. I'd like to get something out of these experiences out there. So it's Ray, I believe. Nuhre's is the channel. She came up with Velgard. Haven't really watched her. I saw a few takes of her on Twitter. Seemed okay at the time, but suddenly a blast from my past, someone I've covered in briefly, Revenant Remnant popped up, and supposedly there's some beef. So I wanted to get into it a little bit here. What's your thoughts on limited thoughts on the matter as it's going?
Yeah, so I'm actually going into this pretty blind. I don't know Revenant Remnant, but I do know Nuhre a little bit. I hope I'm saying her name right. But I've seen some of her Twitter takes, retweeted her a few times. We follow each other, but I haven't seen like her live stream content. My perception is that she's a bit more of a moderate, uh, likes to criticize both sides, kind of like me, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Who knows how much we're going to get into that. Let's go from a particular creator because I have a certain idea of what to go on, because both their arguments from their streams are a little bit weak. Let me start with a bit of this particular video here because it makes it very clear cut, in my opinion. Oh, fuck. I am an idiot.
And what has been
Why didn't you correct me? I didn't put it on
I was
stream.
about to say something.
Yeah, fucking hell. Okay, it's not really important. I was paying attention to the actual video I put on, not what I had on
happens
screen.
organically forever in the history of ever. You're gonna see it always, and you've been seeing it.
So DEI is bad because it changed what happened organically and what has been happening forever.
You've been consuming fucking video games that have fucking black voice actors, black characters.
All right, black people mentioned. And we've also been consuming material that has representation in it. So Nuhre asks what the problem is.
Do you care? No, because they didn't make you care about it. They were just there and you didn't have to think about it.
What exactly is her problem with DEI? What has DEI?
Right there. A lot of people are saying DEI is bad or it's good, but they don't really explain the details. What are your thoughts on that, Tachyon?
I like it means 10 different things to 10 different people. I don't know, man. Like I think
Just like woke.
diversity is good. I think that true, like woke. I think diversity is good. I think inclusion is good. I try to I try to be inclusionary in my life. I think companies like should be inclusionary towards everyone, right? Like if you're hiring people, you shouldn't discriminate against them based on their immutable characteristics. Very simple. Have a meritocracy. Equity, not so good. I don't think you should pursue equal outcomes.
Okay, you have the E problem.
Yeah.
I guess you probably brought back that E a little bit too many times in school. Have a version to it. No, I'm joking. Of course, I'm joking. Yeah, DI. I'm not a big fan of it, but I get too lost in the weeds. And you research why it got pushed into corporations, and it's very shady stuff. Very shady stuff. McKinsey Company got some academics to do a whole study that, when you look at it, wasn't very well researched, and a whole bunch of crap science from crap majors. I think I have a fundamental problem with what the information is based on more than anything else. And I was sort of in the libertarian camp back when Trump tried to ban it back before he got kicked out of office for the last 4 years. And he was trying to get rid of it, and libertarians were making an effort to replace it with something more colorblind, because that's what libertarians do, market choices. They tried to beat it in the market, and I was all for that.
Now, Vincent, I think it's worth pointing out the terms DEI. Like we can break apart like the three different components of that, but I think just the fact is most people aren't really reacting to like the different like breakdowns of the components. Like what they're reacting to, I think, and even I have this reaction too, is that the people often associated with this term tend to do bad stuff. Like if they called it DEI, but they were like really friendly and like there weren't a lot of like incidents where bad things have happened, like people like James Damore getting fired, people losing their jobs, or feeling like they're being pushed like anti-white messages, things like that. If it weren't for that aspect of it, I don't think anybody would really care, even if you called it DEI still. And they would still be upset if you called it something else.
Yeah, I mean, Kirsha, however you say that VTuber's name, I think she has a very good point with what she does. I think she's very hyperbolic and over the top, but she's a VTuber. You expect that from someone like that. And yeah, they're just going to change the name and try to sort of push it someplace else. And it's quite interesting in this particular case. And I think there is some anti-white sentiment. I think a lot of people are misrepresenting that's what DEI is about. No, that's anti-racism, period. And it's the anti-racism in the DEI. I've seen a few tweets like from Grums, just reactionary going against a veteran program because it was under the label of DEI. It's like everyone was like, why the fuck are you against it? We're against DEI. They shouldn't be pushing this. They should be pushing it out. Also with CD Projekt Red, they had a Women's Day thing. They had a program where they let the women off for their periods. I'm like, that's smart. Like, no, DEI. I'm like, do you really want to be around women on their period? Isn't it smart for everyone that the women get time off for that shit?
Well, do you think that that's actually the right approach to give women in particular like period days? Like I think some other countries, I think Japan might have tried something like that as well. Is that really the right approach, or is it better to just like give everybody like one personal day they can use a month or whatever, and including men too, and then they can use it for whatever purpose they desire?
Yeah, probably. It's probably smart to sort of put it out there, give a cut into the personal time for women and men. Definitely is smarter to give everyone a day off, but I believe in biological differences between men and women. Women have that biological disadvantage of the period once a month. Men don't. So I could see it going either way.
True, but then you can get like into weird like situations where it's like, well, what if you have like an older woman who's not menstruating anymore? Like, do they still get the day off? And then you could go any way with it, right? But I'm not opposed to it necessarily.
If I was an employer, I would expect the spirit of the rule. Instead, if someone was, even if it's a rule in good faith, and people were exploiting it, as the boss, be like, you don't really need that day. You went through menopause. But I'm rather firm with that. I get your point, though. But yeah, you're right. It means so many things. And Nuhre or Array, I watched a lot of stuff. We'll just call her Nuhre.
Done other than appropriate a word for what has already been going on.
Now they add those people into games and they make you, be extremely aware of them. Like, they're here. They deserve to be here. If you say anything about this, you're fucking this and this and that. That's the difference between, representation and DEI infused politics in video games.
Okay, so DEI is bad because we're being made aware of it, but it's not bad when we're not made aware of it. All right, roger that.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, people were fucking being negative
Can you pause it?
And calling it like everything,
Yeah, sure thing.
What he said, I know he said it a little bit snarky, but like it's bad when
Oh
you
yes.
notice. It's not bad when you don't. Like that actually is, I think, how a lot of people see it. Like I watched. Have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Most of it. I think I got busy doing other things, but I
Oh
know
well.
the gist of it
Okay,
otherwise.
so you know how it ends, right? Because like that's kind of critical to the point.
Yeah,
Almost.
it's a little out there.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
go on.
I think that's actually a really great example of like how you do diversity well. And I guess I did notice it because like that's because I was paying attention too because I'm trying to like do research on how to do diversity well. But like you have like the the movie literally follows an Asian woman whose English is not the best, who's an immigrant from China and who's like a small business owner who hates taxes. Right, like it's like all these different things too, like and like is also homophobic. Right, yeah, like all the like it's a character who's embodies all these traits because it's like a person, right? It's not like, oh, you fit it neatly into this box. Like you're all
Yep.
these things, like you're a loving mother, a business owner, you hate the government, but you're also an immigrant, you're not white, and you're homophobic. So you have like all these different character traits that like are some of them like are progressive coded, some are conservative coded. But it's actually I think a really well done film. And I was talking to my uncle about it, who's more libertarian, and I brought up like, well, this is like how you can do diversity really well, and he's like, oh, I didn't even like really notice. But I think that's what
Yep.
people want. They want to like not notice.
Yeah, Vanguard was a horrible example with the trans scars. Okay, I wouldn't defend the game, but it's not really something I can judge without playing. I have that sort of perspective on it. Hell, I didn't watch the Alkalite just because. Sorry, Star Wars, whatever it was called, just because it had a philosophy tube, because of moral reasons, because of my principles. That woman is even hated by some leftists. Okay, but yeah, it definitely was very apparent. And Nuhre's, I think her perspective on that is like, yeah, Vanguard's bad, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, why is that so bad? We'll probably get into that. I want to do a little bit of his lead in because he explains his the Revenant Remnant really has a horrible video. He has 4 videos, and we're not going to go over them all, but I'll give you a clue in so you can keep along.
Every name under the sun and trying to boycott it. And I said, well, that's fucking retarded because at its core, it is a good game and people are going to enjoy it regardless of what you guys think. And it's always about the majority of gamers speaking up, right? It's about them choosing what's a good game and what game to like spend their money on, correct?
Let me cut her off. Majority of gamers. I hate this whole majority argument. I think it really is something that is very exploitable on the internet nowadays. You can pump up your movement with bots. I mean, her side, as she brings up at a certain point later on. So it's she identifies as a side. So I'm not lumping her in a group. She does it in a particular video. Just putting it out there. They sort of talk about Disney and all the shills having bots and stuff, but they have their own methods that I've seen to sort of artificially inflate things. It happens on both sides. Any thoughts on that particular thing, the illusion of popularity or dispopularity?
I don't know. I don't think. What I think. I don't know anymore, really, because like if you asked me 10 years ago
Okay.
if social media represents real life, I would have been like, hell no, not at all. I don't know if that's changed though over time, but I don't think X Twitter represents real life. That's certainly
No.
true. I mean, and like a good example of that actually would be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, right? Like because you had all these people on Twitter. If you were on Twitter, at least the people I follow. I mean, I followed a mix of people who had like diverse views on it. I had people all over the place, but the anti-woke people on Twitter were very loud, attacking the game, and the game sold really well. The people ignored them. They're not the majority, but like the woke people aren't the majority either. And like we're probably at a point where gaming is so big, and we talked about this. Actually, we didn't talk about this last time because I didn't show up to your show, but you talked about it last time, where it's it's mainstream and different types of games are made for different audiences. It's been like that for a long time now.
Yeah,
I don't
niche
know if they're
audiences,
yeah,
okay.
and like what the hell is the average gamer? Like you're not making a game for the average gamer necessarily. You're making a game for like a target audience or target demographic, and that could like cut a number of different ways.
Yep. And obviously Vanguard was very queer coded, transgendered in that. And it's fine to do that. And it's fine to shit on it for that aspect.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no problem with that. It's very interesting. But to say just because you're against one particular thing, I think that's the flaw of these people. The people against Nuhre's perspective. I still don't think she has really much backing for her anti-DEI stance. I don't think most of these people are. I think they're just going with the trend, and he's going to bring it up.
What happened? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 became very successful. Avowed. Since I saw the fucking trailers, I said, hey, this is just going to be a Belgar 2.0 for this reason and this reason and this reason. And I'm not particularly like impressed about what I'm seeing. And what happened? Avowed didn't impress anyone.
What does that have to do with wokeness?
And also, I think some people have been bringing up what's woke about Avowed. It's not quite as woke is it's got some weird stuff in it, but I'm not seeing many people. I think she asked the question, what's woke about Avowed?
You know what's weird?
Seems like
I'm sorry, I cut you
weird?
off.
No, go on.
That I looked online, and look, I'm not a big I don't play a lot of new games. I don't have a PS5 or Xbox Series X. But I see all these clips online of people talking about how the game's woke. And I didn't like look into it or anything like that because like the game didn't look super interesting to me to begin with.
No.
And so I just assumed like, oh, okay, well, like I guess people think it's woke. But like I personally didn't look into it. Like this miasma of just other people saying it has like colored my perspective of the game, having knowing very little of
Illusionary
it.
truth effect, okay? Enough people keep on saying it. You're just going to assume it's true, even if you don't know, if you don't look into it. It's cognitive biases all around.
Forced representation. Is the logic here that if something is not popular, it is woke, but if it is popular, then it isn't woke?
So am I a grifter when I'm constantly standing my ground?
And what's the ground you're standing on? What's your guiding principle here? Because from my perspective, this is all entirely capricious. It's all based on a whim.
And being right every time?
No, you weren't right. You're conflating the financial success of a product with whether or not it contains some form of progressive ideology. Did Revenant Remnant make that correlation? Did he say anything at all about whether or not the financial success of a product is directly tied to whatever ideology guides it?
And I only speak on RPGs because that's what I know and what I have the confidence and the knowledge to speak about.
Your level of confidence has zero correlation with how correct you are about whatever it is that you are talking about. See the Dunning-Kruger effect.
And before then, you were relatively unknown.
Okay. Oh, that was probably something I should have cut out, but I thought he went pretty hard.
Well, so
and I do agree. These people, I've had issues with this. I don't know why these people are against DEI. Okay. I just don't know. But I haven't looked into Nuhre. There's other people out there that I've had this criticism.
yeah,
I
I'll
just
say
don't know enough about
I'm
Nuhre.
against it too. I guess I haven't like done tons of research on the topic, but reflexively, I would be concerned. I think with like DEI, like these aren't like the people who I associate with it. You know, the maybe it's unfair, but it's sort of like the people who lied about GamerGate, right? I feel like there's a connection almost, and I don't trust people like that to be honest and to represent liberal values.
Yeah, I know.
So I just just the word itself, DEI, like I would be concerned at a company. You know, if the DEI person calls you into their office, like, like what's going on here? I don't know. It just has an unsettling feeling to it, and maybe that's unfair.
Yeah, but you have a backing for it. You know about James Damore. Okay. Do you know about the fucking other instances like the grievance studies and how Peter Boghossian sort of gotten kicked out of, sort of forced out, Jordan Peterson having the psychological board sort of say, you're causing trouble, we're gonna revoke your license, shit like that throughout the years.
Yeah, it's not
We know
good.
about this.
Well, so Vincent, you're the communications guy. I'm sorry, who's the person we're watching? It's not Remnant. It's someone else.
It's what the Egger. Okay, there is a
Okay.
reason I'm starting off with him
So
because if we were going off of a Revenant Remnant video, we would just be both be shitting on him. Okay, trust me, they're not well done. They're very binary, and I will get into the reason for that.
yeah,
You
so
say
the
what you have.
what the Egad, we're watching him now. What do you think of this approach? He comes across a little bit hostile, and I'm
Oh, he
just,
is.
and which is fine. Like you can have different opinions and disagree, but I don't know if like the conversations in the gaming sphere about the culture war stuff. I don't know if it's useful to be as hostile as this. Why not just like lay out the points and like you don't have to be nice and like kiss their ass or anything, but like lay out your points and then like be, I don't know, respectful if you can. I feel like that's
Mhm.
better, but maybe that doesn't get the views. I don't know.
Well, I don't think he's going for the views. He's going for the hard press thing, and he thinks I don't know his perspective on this. I communicated with him like a couple of times, but we definitely would disagree on a lot of things. But we will get into that in a bit.
But please.
Yeah, I was relatively unknown because I hadn't posted anything on YouTube because I wasn't interested enough to make anything for YouTube. And then the moment I started uploading, I went viral.
So part of the commentary here has veered into how Nuhre got popular on the internet in the first place. Well, the reason for this is because in late November 2024, Nuhre's content was artificially boosted by people like Mark Kern or Grums on X. In addition, other personalities such as Hypnotic and Asmongold also had a hand in boosting her presence. So regardless of whatever Nuhre wants.
Okay, I fact checked that. That's my take on it also. This is where we're jumping off of this particular thing. Does that seem like an unfair read into you? Yes, he is overly hostile, but that's his particular style.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have that style. I mean, you can have it.
Mhm.
I wonder though, because look, I've been around this culture war bullshit for a long time, a decade plus now, or what, a decade. And uh, look at who the people were 10 years ago who were making this kind of content, right? Who were making this sort of I'm gonna yell at you, like on both sides, the woke and the anti-woke. Back then we called them different names. We called them regressive left or SJW and anti-SJW. But like look at the people who made that like aggressive content 10 years ago. They're either all gone because they like didn't build like a sustainable audience, or they've like transitioned away from that and they don't make that kind of content anymore. So, and I don't think
Or,
it's like good
or
for
they're
our
coming back to it. I saw
Oh,
Sargon starting to way back into the GamerGate discourse recently.
yeah, well,
Very light.
Sargon may be an exception here. But I just don't
But
I don't think it's like what are we going to accomplish with this? Like okay, so like the woke YouTubers yell at the anti-woke YouTubers and the woke anti-woke YouTubers yell at the but they're not talking to each other, not having conversations, and like maybe if they just got together and talked about it, they'd be like, oh, you know what? You like these games, I like those games. We like different kinds of games. You do you live your life. I don't care, and like everybody can chill the fuck out. I don't think having a
yeah,
culture war is good. I want to. So what I'm doing with the Tachyon's take that's coming up, so far at least the plan is to call it cultural conversations. I think we need to move away from culture wars and have cultural conversations.
yeah, I think that's a big cuck. Why don't we have scrimmages? Okay. Okay, have I mean I like what you're going for, okay. Okay, but I think a little bit of a neutral perspective, sort of hosting these sort of battles where both sides and generally both sides aren't going to come together. And I mean, back in the past, I'm sure a lot of gamer gators in the beginning would love to have talked to some of these journalists and try to come to some sort of thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. The whole thing could have been
Oh,
avoided if they just talked about it in the very beginning. But instead, the games journalists decided to attack gamers who were criticizing them and claim that they were misogynistic Nazis. So that never happened.
yep.
But like if that
And
would
that
have happened, the whole gaming culture like would have been a much better place if they just would have said we made some mistakes, we've been maybe a little bit too censorious, let's have a conversation, let's reform our ethics policies, let's take this seriously. If they just would have done that, most of like the past 10 years of I don't know how much of it could be avoided, but like a lot of the gaming stuff could have been avoided or handled differently.
Yeah, I really wish that would have happened, but I don't have a time machine. I don't have magical god powers. So the best I can do is try to figure out where things are coming from. And his particular perspective on the anti-woke side, which seems to be quite interesting. I don't think he's with what I consider what the Egger or Remnant aren't really on the Godgate stop, what I've been calling Godgate versus Goonergate. The distinction between those is Melanie Mack, all the religious right people, John Delarose, and John F. Trent, which I want to bring up here real quick. Oh, I'm just pointing this out for context. Vara Dark is reading this John F. Trent thing here. I'm just pointing this out. She's not listening to this video for her video. Maybe she watched Jaffrey's video. And I'm bringing this up for a good reason. I'm not going to watch it. I just want to bring up what it leads into. Oh, come on.
David Jaffe is.
I'm going to give you a little bit of an education here.
Sorry. I'm setting this up right here. We're going to go over the one thing, what the eager, I suck with names myself, we know what he missed. She sort of joined into sort of the team sports of the anti-woke community. This is what I want to go over because we're going to go into the depth. There's not much on her side, 9 months, but we're going to go more into Revenant Remnant because I think that is very interesting. You ready, Tachyon?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a little bit of an education here. Jaffe's definition of a grifter is literally sitting online talking about games. You don't believe me? Not a problem. Vara Dark here for you with all the facts. Here's where he defined grifter 2 years ago. What's that you say? Grifter? Grifter, huh? Well, I suppose.
And Jaffrey's being a complete asshole here, mocking Vara Dark.
And you say, I'm going to say this about.
And Nuhre is coming in for the Steel Man.
Out the video. I think that's why that's a grifter. Didn't think we'd find this, did you, Jaffe? But I'm good at my job. I've never
He's
defined
mocking Vara
grifter
Dark.
is that a grifter is somebody who makes money
And
off.
this is where he's doubling down, by the way. Not about the Trump assassination thing, which he absolutely just avoided talking about that by telling her, read a fucking book, you dumb woman. Now he's like, that's not what.
I went over this. He had a certain point about Trump KFAB. It's not very well explained from Jaffrey. A book, because Trump did definitely associate with the WWE with Vince McMahon. You probably know about that to a certain extent,
vaguely,
right?
Yeah.
Jaffrey calls it KFAB politics, or just playing things up and being extremely verbose to sort of get attention. Take out you have a sort of a heel wrestling mentality is a very Trumpian thing. I would agree with that. Would you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is a show right now. But also who knows? He's a wild man. Maybe we won't. We will own Gaza.
Oh God. I just hope things work out on the political front. Just cross my fingers with that. But I'm just giving the context for what she's bringing up since I'm cutting out.
I didn't say that. I didn't say. You literally did say that because you said grifters have ruined Dragon Age. And who are the grifters you're obviously because you guys live in a echo chamber, and I've said that multiple times before, and I've even tweeted about it. Grifter, and Asmongold put it really nicely. Not that I care about Asmongold, but sometimes he has good takes the same way that I do. He said a grifter is just a term that people use nowadays because racist and bigot doesn't work. I've been saying that. A lot of people in our side of the internet.
No. Most people call grifters nowadays. Well, some people misuse it. Other people have good reasons for using that terminology. Okay? As simple as that.
Have been saying that as well. It's just something that doesn't really matter. We don't care if they call us grifters or rage baiters or whatever. It doesn't really change anything. But they get really mad when we call them shields, which is really funny.
Do they?
And the problem with them is, again, and I've said it, it's you guys use the word because someone else uses it, right? But you don't really know the definition of the word. So then you're caught using it incorrectly, or to someone that it's gonna call you out on it, and you're like, I never said that. You were wrong.
I just find it funny in this particular section where he's about to explain what grifter means to him, how she's going on. What do you think grifter means, Tachyon?
I'm not gonna look it up. My assumption is that it's someone who says something that they either don't believe in, or they pander to an audience, like their audience captured. That doesn't mean they don't believe it necessarily, but maybe they didn't believe it at first, but as time went on, they became more and more sucked into what the tribe wants, rather than thinking independently, I guess.
Okay, that's good enough. I don't really care about the term grifter. I rarely use it except for as clickbait. Yeah, it's someone who disingenuously use something to make money. And yeah, you go after a lot of these people and they hype up how much money, how many views, how much impressions they get. Anyone who calls a lot of these people who talk about, yeah, I'm getting this much money and I'm getting this much subscribers, calling people who constantly boast about money and influence. Yeah. Can you blame them if they boast about it, thinking you're grifters? It doesn't make them grifters in the end, but you're sort of playing into it. You're like, yeah, call me a grifter. I keep talking about money and views like it's everything in the world. Yeah, call me a grifter. I'll try to turn it around on you and call you a grifter for some weird reason. I've had that done to me before, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't make any money on this shit. Fucking hell. This is practice for me. Shit.
Shut up.
People by lying to.
Oh, not to it, bro.
That's what they do. A grifter is not someone who sits in front of a camera and talks about video games, Vara Dark. You just don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do.
Did you catch Joffrey's definition of grifter there?
No, I didn't. Somebody sits in front of a camera, right, and talks about video games, but like that can't be like an actual definition.
No, he didn't. She cut him off and had that long speech. I don't know if she's consciously doing it, but this is a particular tactic. You don't wait. She sort of, as soon as he's about to explain what he considers a grifter, she pauses it and goes on this long-winded speech about grifters. Then he has a really short one.
But you don't really know the definition of the word. So then you're like, you're caught using it incorrectly, or to someone that, you know, is going to call you out on it. And you're like, I never said that. You were wrong. Shut up.
People by lying to.
Oh, not to it, bro.
That's what they do. A grifter is not someone who sits in front of a camera and talks about video games, Vara Dark. You just don't know how to do this.
Did you catch it that time?
It's someone who doesn't sit in front of a camera.
Who
that's what he
makes
said, right?
money by lying. I believe his.
Well, he
whole
didn't
thing
say
is
that though.
Well,
unless it's before
really
she
good.
talked. Before.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. I don't know if she consciously did it or not, but it's a very interesting tactic I found. You get the beginning part, you cut it off with a long speech, you preamble what they're.
Was this a live stream or was this an
this.
edited video?
This was a live stream.
Okay.
This was
as a streamer,
okay.
Probably just give benefit of the doubt.
Okay, fair enough. I'm being very conspirial minded and thinking about really deep into it. But if you want to give her good faith, that's fine too.
You don't know how to do this. You are in that chair, Vara, because of your hair and your face and your gender. And that's fine.
Face, hair, and what? What was that, David? What?
Pay attention to this. Because I think this is somewhat telling.
Why is she there?
You don't know how to do this. You are in that chair, Vara, because of your hair and your face and your gender. And that's fine, by the way. There's no problem with that. I don't deny anyone making money and building an audience off, you know, the things that they've got. But let's be clear. So far, my encounters with you online,
Let's see how many times does Vara, not Vera, Vara, you stupid fucking idiot, Vara Dark flashes her tits.
Okay. She makes it about tits in this edit. Still with me?
Yeah.
Tachyon? She highlighted the three things he said, and she goes to tits. When Jaffrey's probably like, I still think it's a stupid point by him. I mean, there is a certain logic to it. You as a GamerGater, not my shield. You know how that was done.
Yeah,
Minorities.
being an anti-woke woman who is attractive and a YouTuber or streamer has its perks, no doubt about it. and downsides too, I'm sure as well. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of poor form, I think, of Jaffe to be like, oh, you're only this because you're. I mean, I don't even know if that's true or not. I don't even know Vara Dark's content. Like, maybe she makes like incredible game reviews or whatever. Right? I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do I. But I'm just getting his point. His point is that she's getting the views because she's a female,
But
or
like,
female representation, I think, and
he
she's
wouldn't
attractive.
he wouldn't say that if she was a man, though.
Probably not. He probably would still call her dumb, but him he even the gender change, he would say that he was stupid. If Vara was a male. But yes, probably wouldn't do that. Maybe he's right, maybe he's not. I'm not really getting into it. They're like David Jaffe doubles down on sexist comments towards Vara Dark. I mean, so what? They're sort of sexist. Yeah, I agree. The dirtbag left sort of mentality. They sort of milked some of these shills and things. That's all I wanted to point out. The sort of missing element. Yes, she got boosted. She got boosted by a couple of people within this industry. Well, anti-woke industry, how it's framed. And she also did a little bit of defense for Vara Dark, one of her women.
Well, to be clear, like I don't think there's anything wrong with like being boosted, quote unquote. Like, especially like, you're all content creators. You're all going to be having conversations with each other. You have an interest, an incentive to defend people when they come under attack because it's good networking and it'll get you views.
Yeah,
and
it's
subscribers.
networking.
It's like that's. I don't think it's
a
nefarious.
networking game.
Now it can become nefarious, right? Like if you're like letting unethical things slide, or like letting let's say you
Ember 8. Ember 8, Grums is Ember 8.
Right. Like if you let stuff like this slide because like, well, you're on my team or you're bigger than me, I want to get some of the clout, so you don't talk about Grums' scam game, basically. Yeah.
Or that Smash JT totally ran with a fake insider. He had a whole video. I verified this person. McDizzle came out being like, bam, I know this is a lie. I am the fucking leaker. I did this sort of to see if a troll who says he's the BioWare leaker to Smash JT, I wanted to see if this would work as a social experiment. And bam, it worked. He ran with fake stuff and sort of turned it around like, yeah, a whole bunch of crap that I don't want to get into. But yeah, people are just defending. A lot of people are just defending Smash on that, and they're defending Grums based on team sports. I don't think anyone's really coming to Nuhre's thing, but not many people actually care about this Revenant Remnant. Okay, I think there's some things. Now let's switch to his side. I want to sort of take you down his sort of experience.
You bit fucking idiot. Vara Dark flashes her tits.
Bothered by it.
She
does. Was bothered by it was
okay.
Was the lackluster
Did I fuck
and
this
otherwise
up?
just.
This is Revenant Remnant, a particular section of his early video. So we're going to go through a little journey here. You ready, Tachyon?
Let's do it.
This was pre anti-woke, and I picked this video for a particular reason because Miles Morales comes up in this. And if you know anything about discourse, it's interesting.
Boring sections as Mary Jane and Miles Morales. Now, Miles Morales' sections, to me, as far as like when they took place and so on and so forth, made sense. With Mary Jane, I felt like, at least up until towards the end, didn't make sense because pretty much, as far as I can remember, pretty much all of them were like 15, 30 minutes before Spider-Man gets to whatever area he was going into and all that stuff. And, these are stealth sections because they're not Spider-Man, so they can't do what Spider-Man does. And later on, of course, these sections do progress, become a little more, I guess, meaty, if you will. But for the most part, I didn't care for them. They took me out of the experience because they just weren't fun, and I didn't think they added much to the story, except towards some places towards the end.
Okay, that's sort of beforehand, and I have this up. This was this review here, Marvel's Spider-Man review. PS4, 6 years ago. Do you see anything sort of within here that, with your 2020 hindsight, might give you something like the Saint Row 5 wish list?
I mean, he's making gaming content. I mean, that's like, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're making gaming content, I'd expect you to make videos like this. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm too much in the weed. Okay, Dark Souls, does every game needs a easy mode? Okay, there's a discourse. Alana Pierce Charizard, I think, got in trouble for a lot of anti-woke people got on her. Hell, even I thought it was a little bit cringe, her using situational disability to advocate for Soulsborne games to have a pause button. It's sort of in the discourse.
Yeah, not every game has to be
Crap.
for everybody. I think that
Exactly.
developers, I
That's
think
what
developers,
my argument was.
yeah, I think that developers like should have accessibility settings, like to make it easy for you to remap the controls or subtitles, things like this, like things that'll help people with disabilities play games. That's 100% fine, but you don't need to have an easy mode just because some people are disabled. And yeah, not every game
Yeah.
has to be for everybody. Yeah.
There's some people who's beaten Dark Souls games with like weird controllers. It's a challenge. It's for different people. Saints Row 5, that whole mess there, that's considered woke. I'm doing this for a particular reason because that was considered really bad and wokeified. Assassin's Creed, I think the game he's referring to might be Valhalla, where Kim Belair worked on it. And again, Dragon's Dogma 2, that was considered woke piece of crap. I don't really see the arguments for that very well, but that's what some people are saying. So now let's get into his woke arc.
Just like he's trying to use a virtue signal to race-baiting terrorist groups on social media. But another common trend has been open world games, a trend that has oversaturated the market, some going as far as to add minor, yet shallow RPG mechanics to their games, or to simply make it where the main story moves at a snail's pace. Furthermore, these trends that developers cram into their games more often than not hurt the experience. This may have to do with SJWs trying to evade gaming. While this isn't new, it is still a relevant issue that should not be dismissed. These miserable, always offended, cancel culture weirdos are partly to blame for the state decline in gaming, mainly Western games. After all, some of these people are game developers, but just look at the decline in comics, movies, and TV. These people are just a vocal minority, and the silent majority needs to speak up. It's not wrong for us, the consumers, the people that keep these companies alive, to want better, to want real innovation, to want good gameplay, characters, and storytelling. We shouldn't have to settle for woke far-left social commentary with mediocre gameplay, cut content, and abysmal storytelling.
Did you notice the shift?
This was 3 years ago.
And this is the modern game one. Did I not put that in here? Okay,
well, he wasn't really political before though. Like I don't know if it's like
before the lockdown, but within 2 years he got political. It's this one here, the sad decline of modern gaming. Watch Dogs and Ubisoft rant, and you see how his content sort of shifted from that. And he's gotten extremely interesting since then. So I can see his natural progression throughout history of how he became anti-woke.
Is there a reason
why he would have such a?
You want to like what's like the point of like focusing on his woke journey? I guess.
It's all about it's sort of leading into the particular point. How did he come to his anti-woke perspective versus Nuhre's, how she sort of came in? Because she doesn't seem to have a strong stance. She seems to have the typical normie stance. Like, I was a fan of Dragon Age, and all of a sudden Vanguard just opened my eyes to all this DEI crap. It's not very based on anything. His isn't much based on anything.
Well,
either.
I guess his, at least from that clip you showed, he doesn't get like deep into his like philosophical roots per se, but he does talk about like how they're, I guess in his view, making the games worse.
Yep. And a lot of people felt that way. I took it with a grain of salt. I was sort of out. I was into Atlas games and the FromSoft games for this whole period. And a lot of Eastern games. I wasn't really concerned with this. And yeah, when your favorite franchise And some people use that. I mean, legitimately, those games do seem like, I think if I was a fan and would be, but I've learned to move on from this stuff.
So
that's the reason I want to do it.
Well, the thing about wokeness, right, is that I mean, I think this is what you're getting at, but like basically different people are coming at it for different reasons, right? But that's because like the anti-woke coalition, quote unquote, like became too big, I guess, and they won. So you had all these different people who kind of like all put aside all their differences before because like we have a common enemy. But now that common enemy's on its way out, those people are realizing that they have a lot of disagreements. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like some of them are Christian nationalist, religious, like far right people, and then like other people are like they're anti-woke because they're liberals and they support like democracy and human rights and free speech. And like other people, they don't like it because like they don't have an ideological reason, right? Their whole reason is like the games got worse, so I want them to go away, and then the games will get better. And like that's not even like an ideological stance. Like there's no like philosophical root to
just,
that.
that's almost propaganda in reality. Okay, the games it's not wokeness. I mean, my personal perspective on that is corporations use woke as a shield. You put a black person in it for so long and it gets bad reviews. Oh yeah, they're just a racist. That seemed like a sort of
absolutely. Like Ghostbusters movie, for instance, so many different examples, right? The Acolyte, I think people were saying that too, right?
They tried it. I think it failed that time because people are tired of it. They keep on doing the same old crap. And I don't even blame people for really falling out. People like this sort of falling down there. But there's an additional element that I want to bring up that I noticed going down this rabbit hole to give us additional context.
It's not wrong to expect better from companies that make games with a budget of $1 million.
I think this is still entitled somewhat.
There's more.
So you have the homosexual option.
Oh shit! No, I didn't want to get into this. Sorry. Here's Synthetic what I want to get into. I'm making sure it's on screen. Synthetic Man. We come back to this. But it
isn't a walk.
Because I noticed within his videos in here, he included a lot of people worth a shill. Worth a buy. It was a channel. I'm like, why the hell is he including worth a shill with? Because
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Wisdom with us.
Maybe I put these out of order. Okay. You see this? This is one of his first videos on this. I actually talked to him. To this. This is more. I went with the wrong one.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Is it?
This one here. There's a couple of people. Let's watch this for a bit before we get into the other thing.
Worth a buy. Let's read the words of the developer. Essentially, Henry in an RPG makes decisions.
Wait, hang on.
Horror.
Hold up.
I'm 57 hours.
What?
Did he open the video with talking about if it's worth a buy, but then jump immediately to what the developer said on Twitter? Or saying on social media?
No, he cut together two different aspects of the video. Worth a buy. He did bring in this particular element. It will come in van. I will point out there is a reason. I was curious about this reason why Revenant Remnant sort of included him. Wow. I really fucked this up. There was another video that had Nuhre's worth a buy. And Atreus, someone else who's also on Hypnotic Crew, who is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 shill, supposedly, according to them.
Was into the game, and I have never seen any gay sex in this game. Well, I haven't even seen any gay anything in this game. If the developer has lied, do you want to know how many fucks I give about that? None. I don't care. And I've been around the huge city, and I didn't see a single black person. Now, there might be some more diverse places later on.
Okay, I'm going to actually take us to a different place. I'm a horrible human being. Sorry, Tachyon Blue. Why do you come on my streams? I keep saying you shouldn't probably do it. Okay, I don't know why you want to come on there. Okay,
hey,
you go to my
I'm of the view.
Twitter.
I'm of the view that almost any time you get the chance to go on a show, you should do it.
Well, if you have the time. and you think it's worth it.
They're fun
I don't know why
convos.
anyone- I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm glad you enjoy them. I throw things out. Also, another thing, I do find it weird that no one in the anti-woke sphere brings up Nathan Grayson. They just don't. It's like they forgot about him. He's still doing stuff.
Well, he misrepresented the Sweet Baby Inc. story for Aftermath in his article. He got the story wrong.
Yeah, he did the same thing as Alyssa. Okay, he did the same thing as Alyssa, but they're not all in his balls. And why I'm thinking about that?
Because he's a man.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
I think Alyssa has like a certain personality trait that brings out the worst, both in herself and in other people. She's
easily baited.
But she likes to play around and roll in the mud too. You know, she likes it. She enjoys it. I think, just like they do. It's a mutually reinforcing.
Yeah, I think it is a very weird relationship.
Grayson doesn't do that. He just kind of misrepresents things sometimes, and then that's it.
Yeah, he went on veto to defend the Sweet Baby Inc. article. The Sweet Baby Inc. in the public. Okay, freaking hell! But this whole article, February 7th. Why are so few people aware of Kingdom Come Deliverance Director's GamerGate past? So quite interesting.
Let me guess, he's against GamerGate in this?
Of course. We're not really getting into it, but I just wanted to bring it up.
Okay, bring in the GamerGate expert, but you know.
Okay. Yeah, they don't really get into it.
Does he call it? Does he have any description at all of GamerGate, or is it just like he assumes everyone knows what it is?
No, people forgot. You can read this. When we discussed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, its director supported of the original GamerGate movement, which everyone seemed to have forgotten. Why, though? What does it mean for the sequel? At least somewhat. He uses that as a talking point and to push a book, like another certain person that I might know.
Yeah, who pushes their books?
I don't know.
GamerGateBook.com. Buy today.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. I had it on my Twitter, I think, because I usually do sections for this stuff. So let's get into this particular section here. This is a good place to go on. Okay. Yeah. GamerGate book. They keep on using this sort of tweet here. A black man. We are consulting everything on top of historians, period. They keep like he lied about, he said before in 2015 that there's no black people in the game, and he's gone back on that, and he made Henry gay.
What, the black person in the game is literally like a traveling merchant, right? Like he's Musa of Mali. Yeah. He's not like a native to the Czech Republic.
They don't care. He in the past, I can't even see if I have the right thing. He in the past said there was no black people, period, and he went back on that. Okay, back in the past, there's a particular thing here. I'm hoping it's here, and I didn't link the wrong one. Born to Kingdom Come developed, Daniel Vavra is tangled up in history, and for better or worse, the chickens are coming home to roost. Vice's Waypoint has thus refused to review Kingdom Come Deliverance instead of opt-in, blah, blah, blah. A GamerGate supporter who refuses to put people in his game, in fact, mocking those who suggest he does. Vara seems steadfast in his belief there was no people of color at the time, blah, 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 including be historically inaccurate when historical accuracy is a major selling point of the game. The Waypoint points out there are healing potions which aren't particularly accurate, as your humble offer points out. Trolling is sort of a bad way to respond to these questions. So, was he lying with this? Here's the question that's good you're on for. Was he lying, or is this just him dealing with SJWs being giving him a hard time about not having black people in his game and him just fucking back with them? There's no black people in the first game. What do you mean,
like, is he lying? Like, is he lying that there's no black people? Or what do you mean?
Okay, a lot of people are using these sort of tweets of him responding to hashtag a man in black who's trying to argue against him not having black people in his first game.
Dude, I don't even really care. I mean, I don't. I mean, like,
they're using this as a really serious point. Yeah, it's going to become important. I think this is bullshit, personally. I think he was just being like, okay, you want to cancel me? All these people are giving me a hard time. Fuck you. He did it this time around when people were getting on him about gay sex. It is within his personality to fuck back with these people.
Yeah, good
he
for
did
him.
It with the
He's a game developer.
SJWs in the past. Okay, and this time around, when it's the anti-woke people who are coming at him because he put a black man in there, he put a gay option for players to possibly do. They give him a hard time. This is what I want this precedence for.
Yeah, I mean, he's not, as far as I'm aware, he's not a historian. Like, maybe he can get things wrong. I don't know. Like, I don't think it even really matters if it's a good game or not.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. Okay, but some people are ideological. They think he's bought off by BlackRock, even though Embracer Group has no connection with BlackRock at all. Revenant Remnant is like AI generated medieval. We can maybe take a look at that eventually. It's going to become an important point. Yep, and this article goes about how he definitely was against this. Do you remember this guy from GamerGate? Did you try to interview him?
Did I reach out to him? I don't know. I could check. But I do remember him. I might have even defended him at the time. But no, I think Vavra's fine. I don't have a problem with him on a personal level. I think he supported GamerGate because he values free speech and artistic freedom in the industry, and I guess ethics in games journalism as well. And
but now he's going against GG2, the God Gators, and another particular group.
Yeah, well, but as you know how I feel about the GamerGate 2 people, right? Like, one, I don't think they should call themselves that. Yeah, and then two, they tend to not be the world's greatest people.
No, they have a bad past, and they seem to brush off that bad past.
And the people
doing good now.
Yeah, the people of GamerGate themselves, like, they themselves don't like that they keep using their name. 70% or 67% of the GamerGate people, I know because I've surveyed them, don't like this. They don't think it's true. You shouldn't call yourself GamerGate 2. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, back to this. And there's also the sort of underage thing that's going to come up. I mean, people use this, the initial thing, the age verify. He's in his teenage. But you have in this one, just to appease any country laws, which I assume the game did in the first game and the second game, I suppose the developer just bundled everything up above 18. So when it came to the sex stuff, they're trying to use the pedophilia thing. I think that's a bit bullshit. There are no children in the game. There's just no children in the game. And this will become important later, I guess. Oh, yeah, this was for the sort of BlackRock thing. It's a little bit autistic, but this is Embracer Group. And the best they got is Vanguard, who's associated. And they have a very... saying that the whole ESG Vanguard, I just did this just for... compare that. Look, a whole bunch of white people on their board. Some women, I guess the women are suspect, and maybe the guys are gay. Sony's got more part of that BlackRock energy. I'm just covering all my bases. And Microsoft got top corporate is Vanguard and BlackRock. Worry most about those two groups. Okay. Any thoughts about that before we move on?
No, I don't know anything about the ESG stuff.
As I said, I don't know why the fuck you come on. I drag you through some weird stuff sometimes when you come on. So I'm like,
part of the journey, part of the experience.
Yes. Okay. And here, I'm trying to make sure I have this before I put. No, that's Revenant Remnant. I might actually take a sort of side tangent there, but before then, yeah, not that. Oh, I am horrible at this. I should be fired from streaming for how horrible I am at doing this. Oh, yeah.
Synthetic man.
Okay, we got it on screen. I want to get it here. Okay, replay. Let's see where this is coming from.
Woke game because you can have a tiny portion of the game where you go with a bloke. That doesn't make a game woke. If you think that's woke, you need to get a grip because that's not woke. You're looking more.
All right, this is another guy who doesn't know what woke means. He subscribes to the I don't know, critical drinker, EFAB, etc. All those, the definition of woke being forced in like 10 quotes, because you can't define what forced means. Prove the intent. You can't. It's a mid-wit argument. Forced diversity.
I actually agree with Synthetic Man on that particular point. It's really hard to prove it.
Yeah.
Would you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. But also, like, there were gay people throughout history. Like, are we just like, like they actually existed?
Yep.
So if it's a game about choices, like, why wouldn't you have the choice to do that? If that's
in the game,
yeah.
They supposedly clarify the characters know it's a sin and something frowned upon. So I think it would be more of a criticism if they can just do all their gay shit in the public and get away with it.
Sure,
It
right,
would be a
yeah.
better criticism for the game. If they didn't acknowledge it was bad. Yeah.
Right. If they start like
yeah,
asking
cool.
you for your preferred pronouns like the 14th century, it's like, okay, well, wait a second, hang on.
Yeah. I mean, the future, they, them, it's possible. They got to hate that future, the they, them pronouns, but we're going to have aliens that aren't she, theys, possibly in science fiction. In the past, it's really weird. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. In my opinion, this is forced. Prove me wrong. You can't. You can't. You can just call me names. That's it. My definition, there's no holes. If there's any progressive ideology in it, it's woke. Adding gay.
That's where I definitely disagree with Synthetic Man. There's other places. It's called progressive. Okay. You just have one element. Why would you call it woke if it just has progressive elements? It seems stupid to me. Way too vague of a definition. My definition is identity politics plus power politics, which basically means a narrative, grand narrative. Power politics is pretty much just team sports. Okay. You don't care about the truth, or you twist the truth to your team's advantage and don't care about the truth. You care about whatever identity group you're pushing.
You know, that's a
Gay,
good definition.
Black. Even nowadays, I think Grums is doing it with gamer. He's trying to speak for all gamers.
Oh, so wait,
I
identity plus power. That's your definition.
Pretty much.
That's not bad.
Whoa.
That's not bad. I think that
it's.
I might even my definition, I guess, before would be like before this conversation, and still would be, I think essentially that someone who doesn't believe in liberal values, like liberal democracy, they're woke. So like that's the far right, the far left, everybody. Like woke is someone who like
anyone who would disregard
if you support
reality.
censorship, if you support censorship, you're woke. That's my view basically. But the that aspect, it's the same thing basically, right? Because it's in order to have power politics, you have to support censorship basically for other groups that aren't yours. So yeah,
that is correct. At the end of the day, that is very correct. And we're going through here.
Adding the ability for Henry to be gay, and again, rumored Hans is the gay love interest. He was also straight the first game, and adding a black character when the director himself said there were no black people in Bohemia in the 15th century.
See, they're using those tweets of Daniel Vavra saying, yeah, there was no black people at all as proof of this. I find this ridiculous.
Well, what's the actual like historical, like were there black people in 15th century Bohemia?
Of course. I mean, supposedly there was even earlier. I have a Metatron video who actually goes over that.
Well, we know that the Roman Empire was like a was a DEI empire, right? So they had people from all over
you bring up a very good point. Yeah, they probably did have a lot
so
of
they
people.
have trade networks and stuff, I'm sure, all throughout probably Europe and Africa, North Africa at the time.
Yep. I have that Metatron where he goes over Dan Vavra's Twitter post
So-
and he verifies it.
So if he was wrong about the history in like 2015 or 14 or the fuck, and then like now he's like correct with the history, then like all Vavra
Well,
has
it's a
to
fictional
say
game.
is well, true, it's a fictional game, but like if he is going to try to be like 100% historically accurate, right, or as close to as possible, then like wouldn't you want him to like correct for his like earlier mistake? If
Yeah, you would
historical
figure.
accuracy is what you care about, right? If that's the thing you're trying to like
Yeah.
base all this on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I thought with this particular thing here, and look, we have Revenant Remnant. They're so mad the synthetic man is right and actually based. All they can do is talk about him on several streams, not debunking anything he said or what the chat says. Both of them are compromised sellouts. So this is why worth going down the rabbit hole. I found out Worth the Buy basically banned Synthetic Man from chat for applying. He was for pedophilia for supporting the game. I thought that is very ironic given a certain thing.
I don't know. That sounds pretty woke to me by any reasonable definition. But you know, again, this is here the TradCon boomer or the libertarians. All these people, they don't want to offend anybody. You know, they only want to bring things back to normalcy. And by normal,
do you take offense to that fits you? Roughly, maybe.
Why?
Doesn't really fit me.
Return things to normalcy? Like what did he say? Go ahead, repeat it or tell me.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for
it.
dinner. Okay, so like chill.
Okay.
What did he say? What did he say? Tell me.
Okay. You're sort of distracted. I don't blame
these
you.
people, they don't want to offend anybody. You know, they only want to bring things back to normalcy. And by normalcy, they just mean 10 years ago. Things were already fucked 10 years ago. We just didn't know. We didn't know how fucked we were. We've been fucked, you know, probably, I would argue, you know, since World War II. But, you know, that's a whole other thing. You could say further back. You could say the 20s. I won't clarify what I mean by that. It might have to do with an amendment or something. But
Did you hear that last part?
Yeah, I got it. So
I mean, you can give him the edgy pass, but
yeah,
go on.
As a joke, if he's making a joke, that's cool. Like obviously,
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't think he
Let's
knows
give him,
anymore.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt too. I guess I don't know these people, but 10 years ago, nobody complained about woke shit in video games 10 years ago. That's a I hate to say a post GamerGate phenomenon. Really, like 10 years ago, like the people who were attacking video games weren't like the Christian right people. It was the people who said there wasn't enough diversity were the ones who were attacking games 10 years ago, and they were probably wrong then too. Actually,
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there. So we got that out of the way. I find his definition way too vague to have any utility. And I want to know where these people get this idea that woke is just anti-white sentiment. So we can come back around to, now that we have all that out of the way, Remnant definitely went up against Melanie Mack, which I found really interesting. That's exactly what it is, we're not going to go over it, but I at least want to highlight that he brings up the same point that you did. It was, or at least his friend does. I should have probably had a timestamp for this, but I did not.
You know, the left beat the left now. It seems like the right thing the right, but the difference is here is that with Melanie Mack and others, where it seemed like they were on our side, and they'll claim they still are, but they're trying to preach and lecture to everyone about their religion and trying to push that onto others in entertainment when it shouldn't be that way. Because if we don't want, you know, woke propaganda in our entertainment, we don't need religious propaganda there. We don't need some Bible thumper who less than about 5 years ago or so was advocating for LGBT content in games, wanting people like Chris.
That's a little bit of context before we get into what do we want to go with. Do you think that's acceptable? That's smart to do there?
What, for him to refer to her history?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's well, maybe. I don't know enough about like Melanie Mac's history, but like, if that was before she converted to Christianity, then like you
Yeah,
can't
she's
really
a born
critique
again
her on.
Christian.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't really criticize her for stuff that
She
was
was
before
Ubisoft.
her, before the
She
transformation,
was.
I guess.
Yeah, she got married, got a divorce. Rumored her husband left her for a gay man. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that rumor about Melanie Mac. People tried to use that as a own on her. So she got a divorce, sort of became a born again Christian, and started rebranding herself for it. Okay.
I heard a
think it's
rumor that
cringe.
you're
I
a.
think her.
I heard you're a rumor that you're a pedophile, Vincent. That you like to fuck kids. Just a rumor I heard.
People like
I
spreading.
wouldn't
Yeah.
look too much into it.
I've heard that rumor too. I don't know what basis that they have it. I don't know why people joke or spread that sort of shit. Are you trying to spread that sort of shit here?
Yes.
Horrible
Sue me.
Tachyon. Oh god. Okay, he has the whole first section, which I don't even know. Her stream is horrible, by the way. This is why I went back to the past. And because she went after him. Like, how have you been not doing this for so long? Might give some highlights to that. Oh, fucking hell.
Brought in
Again,
by enemy forces.
This is what I wanted to get into. Fucking hell, again. Oh, God.
Explorer. Yes, black people left their homelands to travel the world. It wasn't some isolated, only white people exist fairy tale.
Let me get my pen.
Henry doesn't suddenly become gay or bi because the developers decided it. His sexuality is completely up to you. His personality, your choice. If you see gay romance scenes, it's not because you misclicked once and now you're stuck with it. It's a repeated choice, something you actively decide to pursue throughout the game. It's all about choices. So,
What do you think about that argument if you're paying attention?
I'm paying attention. I think it's fun. It's all about choices. I don't disagree. If you don't want to make a game like that, you can not make a game like that too. You can make a game where it's completely linear and you're forced to have as much gay sex as the developer wants you to have, or have no gay scenes at all.
Okay, I'm starting to think that rumor you heard was really about yourself. But let's move on.
I am begging you, put down your phone.
I'm joking, by the way.
Go outside. Touch some grass.
No, afuera.
You gotta love those sort of meme-tastic responses.
So for anyone who is unfamiliar with Nuhre, she became well known after she somehow had a playtester for Dragon Age the Veilguard on her channel leak information about the game. Nuhre rightfully criticized BioWare for what they did with Veilguard, but has recently switched her stance on a few things, mostly due to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. First by making...
Okay, I have notes here. Just some normal notes. Okay, I don't think Remnant can say Nuhre switched her stances. He would need to highlight her actually taking a particular issue with certain things to say that. Without context, I have to assume it's not correct in the end.
Well, the thing is that like people like to operate, I guess, based on like, oh, you're anti, you're this, you're pro or anti this. Therefore, like, I'm going to assume
you have to hold all
30 other, yeah, exactly.
Yep, and he's making a lot of assumptions with her. Yeah, calling her a grifter, I can understand that perspective, but damn, saying you're with us or against us is a really weird thing.
A smug, disingenuous video defending the Blaine DEI in KCD2, and since then has now doubled down with a video discussing the culture war, which I have decided to respond to, in which I will address her with the same energy and treatment she addresses others with, and how she addresses the topic of discussion.
I don't know. It's all about controversy and money, obviously. And it's about being on the right side of history, which there's no right side of history, and history is written by the people that win.
you mean exactly what your channel is basically about. The ads on your videos and YouTube memberships enabled, a series of videos going over the drama surrounding Dragon Age the Veilguard and controversy surrounding Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, all of which has gained you an audience and money, because currently it's not your lore analysis videos. In terms of there being no right side of history and it being written by the winner, while true in the sense of being written by the winner, it doesn't necessarily mean the winner was in the right.
And within in this,
Like, I don't understand what his commentary is. It always eludes me. That's why I started off with what the Eagers video
Also,
on this particular matter.
I'm not even sure this whole history is written by the victors thing is accurate. Like, maybe like there's some truth in it, in like, especially I think in the past, where if a civilization was like defeated by another civilization, like you might not know much about that defeated civilization at all. Like, there's civilizations where we have like fragments of pottery and that's all we have, and we don't know anything else about them, right? But I think today it's like history is written by historians, and like even if like one country has like draconian censorship and like hardcore suppresses, like tries to suppress what actually happened historically, the rest of the world, there's other historians.
Well, you haven't been familiarized with someone like Tucker Carlson and the dissident right stuff, but let me not get into that in the stream. Okay, there are revisionists who are trying to. Yeah, let's move on. Okay.
Hey, Brianna Wu calls me a revisionist.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, did you see that counterpoint stream? No, it's a whole other. We don't have to get into that, but
no,
watch it sometime. Watch when Counterpoints interviews me. She jumps on. I'm terrified, Vincent. Okay, she says that she knows. She got emails from 5 people who know me in real life and say I'm a weirdo. That's what she's told me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You need to clip that and send that to me, man. I'll totally.
Well, I told my uncle he shouldn't contact her, but my friends.
Oh God.
There we go. I just getting myself into some trouble. Anyway, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it's my stream. Okay, no one will know. No one will know.
This war, which is not a war, because that's the thing. People are just delusional. Like calling this a culture war or whatever, when it's just pixels on a screen, and at the end of the day, we're never going to be in agreement on what makes a game good and what makes it bad.
This is a disingenuous argument to make. While the name culture war is stupid, the meaning of it rings true. Two sides are clashing, woke and anti-woke. People who want true escapism with no agenda shoehorned, and the other group of people that want DEI, agendas, and ideologies that align with their worldviews. You're trying to minimize this by saying it's simply about pixels on a screen.
Do you see the problem with this?
Well, it's a dichotomy.
I'll tell you
it's woke or anti-woke. There's no room
no one
for
in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, it's a very binary worldview. There isn't people who are like, okay, I will accept a certain amount of woke, but there's like me. I tend to find the trans inclusion stuff within if it's a future game, science fiction, that's acceptable. Okay. Body augmentation, that is fine with me. In a fantasy game, I would be like, okay, this is fucking out of place. Like Baldur's Gate 3 has some weird way to work the they them pronouns in. Okay, I'm like, it's not technically trans, I guess. It's just weird sort of crap. But it just takes you out. Okay. There's nuance in this conversation. And a lot of these people who say they're against anti-woke, where they're getting their anti-woke takes from. I have a whole section on I've been sort of fighting against what am I thinking? I think as a proof that I've been actually, it's horrible proof, by the way. Here, real quick. I'm sharing my DMs. Wick, in this time period. This date of time, I was tempted to argue against CRT against the leftists, which Wick wanted me to argue against him on his stream, but I couldn't join the stream at the time he was going on. This time period. So I can sort of prove that I sort of understand from a political angle why CRT and sort of this wokeness is bad, but I don't know where these people are getting their information from. They're getting from Synthetic Man and his sort of ilk, and where is he getting his information from? I just find it all so weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so what's interesting too is like some of the stuff just comes out of nowhere. Like the I'm sure you've seen the fake screenshots of like feminist frequency receiving money from USAID. Nobody knows
Oh yeah.
where that screenshot came from.
They actually passed that off. Whoa! It was I totally put that in my last video.
It
that
could be the Russians, dude. I don't fucking know. It literally could be. It could be the Russian government or some. I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to push something like that.
The political claim that the government funded Politico to do GamerGate ads. No.
Oh, that was a lie. Yeah, yeah, and then and then so much of it's a lie too. Like this is a whole other conversation. Like but no. The Social Security claim, like Trump just said it in his address to Congress, that we solve Social Security and all this stuff because there's people who are 300 years old on Social Security. But it's not true. There's an Inspector General report from like 2023 that where they actually talk about this, and they even talked about like, well, should we fix it or not? And they decided no, we're not gonna like patch the system because one, no money's actually going out to these 300-year-old accounts, and then two, it would have potentially caused more problems to fix it, so it wasn't like worth the money to upgrade the system.
Oh god.
Because it would make it incompatible with somebody like their partners, like the boring stuff. Like if you ever worked in like a real life job, like you would understand. Like
yeah, that I like the idea of trying to clean up some of the federal spending that they're trying to do, but I don't trust the people doing it in the end. Okay, because a lot of this, oh god, this is why I don't like talking politics.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I agree with you. Like if there's waste, fraud, and abuse, absolutely go through there and clean it up. But like what they're trying to do is just like destroy entire government agencies, and they're just moving recklessly and just they're putting out fake information. They don't either because they themselves are deceived by their own stupidity, or because they're like malicious actors who are purposely trying to mislead the public. And that's not good. You should just have a commission go in and find out what's wasteful spending and what's not, and like, that's going to take time, right? That's not like, oh, we just did like a Control F and we canceled everything with the word trans in it, and like now a whole bunch of shit that's not even DEI or transgender related is getting canceled too. It's like it's stupid. Just go in.
Yeah, I mean, there were some things on there. I'm like, yeah, the transgender play and you're in some other country and support for that. Yeah, Ireland, I'm fine with that getting cut. I'm fine with all that shit getting cut, okay? But you taking this fake news and running with it and try to push it in GamerGate, and it gets sort of amplified by Grums and passed off as real by Asmongold, and everyone just runs with it. No, I have a sort of truth ethics sort of bias, okay? Even if it's against my principles. If they said, let me not even get into that. That's not true, so.
Pushing back against Belgard in Invisible Battle? Of course not. But that's right. I get it. Pushing back against Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is an invisible battle. All because you like the game and your dumbass is too delusional to see the blatant wokeness in the game. So instead...
Yeah, he makes a lot of assumptions here. This is truly a horrible video.
Like, I never even played the game, and I defended it because the attacks against it were stupid.
Yeah. A lot of people did. Okay, a lot of people jumped on board. Yeah. As for the Sweet Baby Inc., there is a whole cottage industry going on. I'm just going to go over the points. Like at the 420, try to find something good in this video is tough, but even if what he's saying isn't a good response to what she's actually saying in this video, he's right about the rest. She hasn't been doing the culture war content for very long. A lot of people only jumped on board after the start of the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff, and they fucking clickbait a lot of this stuff like Sweet Baby Inc. A lot of people on X are like, yeah, Sweet Baby did not work on that game. Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to label that falsely as Sweet Baby Inc.? It'd be like clickbait and shit like that. Let's see. There's not much. I got bored of this particular video in particular. I brought up the main points.
Blatant wokeness in the game. So instead of owning up to simping for woke slop, you made this video to validate your purchase and save face in order to regain subscribers and followers on social media, because clearly the backlash you've been receiving has been bothering you. The quote-unquote invisible battles ends when fence-sitting consumer pigs like you understand what people with spines are fighting for. I understand this is hard to get through your cinder-block-sized head, but all this DEI bullshit doesn't magically go away, especially when you give games a pass for whatever biases you have towards that game. And the only real way to combat this...
Okay, that's enough of that. Think at the 440, like, this is the guess from our Remnant. If he wanted to make this argument, he needed to show the subscriber count, which he doesn't do. She said she gained subscribers from that, and I believe it.
But also, this is completely irrelevant. Like, like you could literally you could have 0 subscribers. It could be the first video ever made, but focus on the arguments being presented. Like, it's not a popularity contest, or it shouldn't be.
Well, she turns into a popularity contest in return, also with her stream. Her stream is also horrible.
That's silly too. Yeah, I don't recommend doing that either for anybody.
Well, some silly things can be fun. It's a stream, not a video. I think it is getting to her, and I think there is some truth to some of the criticism against a lot of people within it.
Well, she said on Twitter that she's like leaving the culture war space, I think, right, or something like those lines recently.
It's smart. It's smart. After getting it up, she's getting that audience. She's dipping out. Smart. A lot of people do that, and there's criticisms there with that. And yeah, there's a weird stuff. There's at least 2 people who did. He did a response to her, which is almost as bad as her stream. I'm just finding this whole process, and it seems to be synthetic man that is pushing some smaller content creators. I knew one, Anna Waifu, who they almost have their own sort of. Let's go back to
Vincent, why aren't you
the internet in the first place? Well, the reason for
this is a perfectly fine topic. I agree to cover, but if you're wanting to like cover the culture war shit, I'm surprised you haven't talked about the food shops fighting the entire anti-woke YouTuber sphere. Have you seen that?
I did not know about that.
Oh my god, it's like it's like Asmongold, Rev Says Desu, Kershay, Short Fat Otaku, and food shops are like all dragged into this like massive drama that's like sucking more and more of these creators in.
Really? Is this recent?
Oh yeah, like the past like week or 2.
Okay, I saw some stuff. I actually have a video focused on AniTuber who got the ire that sucked a whole bunch of people in. A lot better than food shops. Food shops is a little questionable with her previous takes.
Yeah, with the past, hey, I defended her. I thought it was wrong for people to cancel her, and I still stand by that position.
Oh, that's a tough one. A lot of people are going to judge you for it. I won't.
Oh, they have. Don't worry. I know.
Yeah, but her shit, that whole Remnant. I thought this video really highlighted her problems. So let's go back to that instead of watching either one of them.
Words are difficult to parse, and her takes are mostly brain dead. So my best guess is that the milkshakes are bringing all the boys to the yard.
You know what would benefit me? To go like this on Twitch and YouTube and make money off your fucking mindless bitches. It would benefit me, but I don't want that. I want people that think for themselves.
But that's just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't matter.
People will find the next thing to be mad about because there's always a studio releasing.
That is rough. This video is extremely effective, brutal, and cutthroat, but I think he does a good job of laying this out, which is a little concerning in a lot of ways.
A game riddled with propaganda.
Right.
After all, the games industry is full of activists that won't hesitate to cram their ideologies in any.
Sure. I agree with that, but you guys are just taking that. You're taking an inch and running a mile with it.
Oh yes, there's absolutely no reason not to seize victory when you start gaining ground. After all, the objective in any war is to win it. So yes, take an inch, run a mile, and trot across the entire highway if you can. We are in it to win it.
So because does at any point what the Egad, does he ever like lay out what his end goal is?
Not particularly. This is just a takedown piece.
Like,
incredibly effective one to just make her look like a clown, since I don't think Remnant does a very good job of it.
But like, it's a war. What are you fighting for, and who are you? I guess you're fighting
It's the
against.
culture war.
Right, you're fighting
He
against
has
the
this extreme approach.
right. But what's like the end goal, right? Like presumably
Yeah, I think
there's
it's a little
something he's trying to
presumptuous.
do, right? Like either like, do you
Yeah.
want to have like artistic freedom in the industry where like all types of games are made?
No.
Do you just? I don't think that's his view
Okay.
either. But like, or like, what is it? Like, do you want to have like a Christian like theocracy where like only Christian
Maybe.
games are made, or like, but like, what are you fighting for? Or is it literally just? I hate to use this word because it's like cringe, but reactionary, where you're just like woke bad, fight
No.
against woke, nothing to replace it, no ideology, no philosophy, no.
I feel a little bad about this, but
Maybe I'm
let's get
straw
into that.
manning. Maybe I'm straw manning. Sorry. Maybe he does have like a whole philosophy he doesn't get into, and
You would have to watch it in reality. But yeah, if you want to go there, I think this is a problem here. The distributors video called Blue Eyes. This is penned by him. Red Hearts. Am I on the right thing? Yep. You even see mine where I call all this a shit show. Red Hearts is a crucial factor that's going to have to learn to become centrist and other opposing factors can continue to deflect our inability to confront some strategies that we use. We need to learn to throw it back in their faces and force them to think. That will be incredibly important in the long game. And there is a particular thing that I cut that I sort of said, let's not get into it. And I think he's just incredibly effective. So it is a good pivot point to sort of go off on this.
Optional. It's all optional. You press the buttons, right? Because it's relationship option.
That make games with a budget of $1 million.
I got really lucky with this clip. Okay. I subscribe to him just because I find him fascinating and very charismatic, but a bit of a bully. Agree with him on some stuff. This stuff is really weird.
The option to engage in a homosexual relationship with another character is promoted as tolerable because it's pivoting on this idea of it's optional. It's all optional. You press the buttons, right? Now, we set aside the common counter argument, which is, well, we have historical precedents. We know that Hans Capon was straight because he got married, he had kids. But what the goal is, though, is to present parasexual relationships, homosexuality, whatever it is, bisexuality, it's all parasexual. It's all anything but man and a woman, right? Well, we now are inserting this as a role-playing aspect. In other words, hey, you can choose to be a thief, a warrior, a wizard, whatever it is, and you can be male or female. Oh, and you'll be able to romance other people in the game, but you can choose which way you swing. Yada, yada, yada. But for the sake of argument, let's say KCD2 was just some generic fantasy RPG game, not based in history. Should you be upset about the homosexuality in it? When it's simply a choice you make, right? And the answer is still yes. Even if it's optional, the game is entertaining the notion that the option is an acceptable practice in itself. That's why you cannot, and you've never seen sex with children in a video game. Because the notion of having sex with children.
Yep.
Okay.
I was trying to get it to all lay out.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the guy is charismatic and he has good arguments. That's interesting. Very interesting notion. He lays out it's very complex, his ideas.
Yeah, I just like, why does it matter to him? Like, it's a video game, and if you don't like it, don't make that choice. But like, also, what's this idea that the game would never give you an option to do something if it was immoral, or if they perceived it as immoral? But like, what? Have you played video games? Have you played like Fallout, bro? Have you played like anything? Like anything where you have big choices? Like, man, holy shit! Like you can't have sex with kids because, well, like two reasons. Like one, like society looks really, really down upon the whole child adult sex thing, and rightly so. And then two, at the same time, like the developer probably doesn't want to put that in there because, well, the developer personally.
Okay, they're sort of use it. They ignore.
They personally view it as bad. Like, I'm sure. It's not just like a societal pressure thing. It's like a societal pressure plus the developer themselves presumably isn't a pedophile. So
yeah,
Yeah.
A synthetic man got sort of banned from Worthaby, and a lot of his followers who sort of trolled Worthaby.
Like you can literally
within
like
that.
Fallout New Vegas. You can literally to pick an example because like we love examples here, right? Fallout New Vegas. You can literally support like Caesar's Legion, where you
Yep.
enslave people. Like
You're not gay. You're not gay in that game, at least.
true.
I'm
Wait,
sure he
wait,
would
they
say
do
that.
have. Don't they have a gay character? Isn't Veronica from the Brotherhood of Steel guy?
Yeah, but they probably kill her every time. This guy has Christian ethics. Okay, he has a very interesting argument. I don't want to get into it too deep, but it does seem to be him and a lot of these guys do seem to be going off of the synthetic man track. They even have a whole thing where they talk about synthetic man is a Gnostic like me. Okay.
Is so antithetical to natural human behavior that we don't even want to entertain this in media. It's not going to be in media.
They
You
want
don't
it
ever
gone.
see this in media because it's saying we don't even want you to think about it. This is a criminal act. It's an immoral act. We don't want you thinking about it. We don't want you entertaining the notion whatsoever. So it should be the same with homosexuality.
What the hell?
Now,
I'm
this is
not,
why it's
sorry, I'm not.
It's the same with drawings. It's the same thing with drawings where you'd say, well, the drawings aren't real people. I don't care if drawings aren't real people because you're still.
I have not been
Vincent.
seeing my chat this whole time. I have not been seeing my chat this whole time.
Oh, what is going on?
Fucking hell. There is people who's been in here. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry.
Well, that's
to
what
chat,
happens
I
when
have
you live
not
stream.
seen.
Like, what? Did you think there wouldn't
Yeah,
be?
sorry. Yeah, what the eager.
Hey,
was
I
in
don't
here.
have. I don't
Okay.
have. I don't know. I don't know about Twitch and Kick. I might have people in there, but on YouTube, I don't have people chatting.
Yeah, something happened. Sorry to anyone who's in here with chat. Fucking hell.
Hey, do you think this guy
I did not
disagrees with me on food shops?
Oh, probably. Probably a lot of people.
No, but what he just said about the cartoons. Anyway, I had to make the snipe. What?
I did not fucking see the chat. Fucking hell, this is. Yeah, I did not see the chat. Oh, fucking hell. I am off. I normally do. I feel bad about that. Fucking hell. Oh, well. Yeah, I think we're done. The whole stream is ruined because there were people in chat. I just didn't see anyone in fucking chat.
Move on. The chat people are getting a terrible
I know,
experience
I
because you're
know.
killing it. You're cucking the content. Go.
I know. I just that it just hurt me. It just hurt my soul, man. Okay. At the end of the day, I don't know how to move on from this. I just don't. Okay, let's get into Metatron crap. Fucking hell. That
Then
just
you can
hurts.
have Africans because it
Like
spoiler
this
alert,
stuff here.
contains spoiler about the story
As
of
soon as I
KCD2.
put it
No
on.
problem, mate. No problem. One out.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, let me put this up. Try to adjust
Otherwise,
myself.
never played them. Appreciated. Check. 2, we are not ever were, banned in any country.
Are you lost with this particular thing?
I'm
Yeah,
listening. I'm
thank
not
you.
watching, but I'm eating
Yeah,
rice.
I
Okay.
see the chat now. I see the chat now. I fucked up. Okay. I fucked up badly, man. Oh, that really fucking annoyed me. Okay.
At least not that we know of. Great. Second check. 3, as much as I don't like forced diversity, yeah, me neither. Nobody was forcing us to do anything, and we are not forcing anyone to do certain things. Little vague. 4, gay characters were already in KCD1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
fucked
true.
up.
We established that. So 5, KCD is an RPG. You're responsible for your decisions. If you want Henry to try a same-sex adventure, feel free. If you don't want to, you don't have to. All affairs are and were in KCD1 purely optional. The characters are perfectly aware that it was a forbidden sin. Oh yeah, he means like in the context of, okay, that's good. So it's maintaining, I think it's a smart choice, in fact, if you maintain the historical accuracy but give players more options. 6, the game takes place in one of the richest cities in Europe, which was besieged by a massive foreign army. That's the reason why the life in such a city is more diverse than the life in villages, which were featured in the first game. Makes sense, as I was saying. 7, Musa came to Bohemia with an invading army as a member of the royal corps of King Sigismund, whom he met thanks to his engagement at the court of Sultan Bayezid. He's an educated, noble, and Renaissance man from the kingdom.
Oh, I'm still blown away by that. That's a major fuck up. Okay. What are you thinking of all this so far? Is it fine to sort of bring out?
I mean, if you want to go, I don't know if his like. Oh, you mean Vavra? Sorry, I was not even looking at the screen. I was in the other room. Wireless headset, bro. I, I defended this. I don't care. It's got a gay character. It's got a black character. Like, oh my god, I don't really give a shit. He can give any reason he wants to, and I'd probably nod in my head and be like, okay, whatever.
Okay. Well,
Name of
let's
Mali.
go.
I see that's the black guy. 8 out of
I'm
10,
just trying to
at the same time,
readjust
man,
myself at the end of the day.
I don't know why it makes me feel like the rating is getting better. At the same time, Musa is a very unusual figure
do
for
I
the local
fuck up?
Bohemian folk, as it should be, considering it's the medieval period. I mean, even today, I don't think there's that much. I mean, if you put into comparison the level of diversity you've got in the UK and compare it to the Czech Republic, I think it's don't want KCD to be used as clickbait by people who didn't even play it yet. Some of them, sadly, turned into exactly the same narrative they pretend to be fighting against. The amount of hateful behavior is really sad, and it will damage any cause associated with it. Right. And this guy says, I don't believe anything you say. Yeah, well, okay, that's on you. But unless I have a reason not to, believe in anything he says. In fact, why? Let me see if he motivates it. I don't believe anything you say. You called a random person A-N-A-Z-Y, which just means someone I don't like. No, that's the far left way of doing it. This guy is anything but a far left. It's the Storm Mage. We are getting a little sensitive here. You said nothing about the woke community manager. I'm not aware of any woke community manager. Maybe you'll let me know, noble ones, in the comments. I'm non-binary. Oh, they met. Ooh, that's wow. That's where we're going with that. Now, freedom, as I always say, N-A-Z. Well, in that case, appropriate.
Hey, Vincent,
Yeah,
fuck
that
you.
seems
I got a chat too, by the way, now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They say chat still loves
they
you.
all went to you. They all went up. Okay. At the end of the day.
True.
Oh,
It's a good stream. It's good content. Go.
Oh, you think so? You think so? Oh, no, it's just fucking insane. All my streams are like this. Why do I fuck up in some way
Did you invite
Every
these other
fucking
YouTubers to come on? The ones we're talking about?
possibly. Okay, sorry. I fucked up. If they messaged me, I wanted to see if they wanted to come, but I didn't see them in chat because chat fucked up. Oh, this is why I feel bad about it. Okay, I didn't even see them. And yeah, I don't know how to recover, man. I'm just completely fucking thing. Yeah, let's do this then.
That is why this game isn't woke. Because if this game was video, except my review, so they all went there.
This is the best. This is the best I got here.
Yesterday morning, I went in and I banned hundreds, just banned. That's why over, I think, 1,500 comments vanished. I didn't delete any comments. I just banned people. Now, because they were spamming abuse in all the comments went as well. Now, I'm going to show you why I had to do that. Obviously, that's not a normal practice on my channel at all, as you know. But I had to do it because all these people were coming from a channel on the internet led by, what's he called? Synthetic Man. A guy called Synthetic Man. They were from his channel, but unfortunately are.
Well, shoot, message Egad. He'll probably come on right now.
I don't know how to message him. I fucked up.
Oh, he doesn't have a Twitter. I tried looking for him earlier.
He does. Hey. Yeah, I saw him on Twitter.
He does actually, but he has a different name. R Cheese Knife, is that him?
Probably, yeah. Okay, I fucked up extremely bad. Fuck. I don't know how I fucked up that bad at the end of the day. I meant what questions at the end of the day? Okay, I really fucked up here, so I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna stream. Yeah, I didn't see it. I don't know how to recover, man. Sorry. I give him some context.
Not inherently a good thing. So basically, he's saying because I'm okay with the fact that homosexuals existed in 1403 and there is that element in this game, then I should also be okay with pedos. So basically, he's putting pedos and homosexuals in exactly the same category. I mean, well, there you go. There you go. But anyway, I'm just going to let you watch this. This is Synthetic Man's own channel, and these are recent streams of his.
Oh, that's quiet. That's really quiet. Did I fuck up again? Oh, God.
I'm still here.
At the end. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm still fucking strealing from that. And there's always something that always fucks me up at the into the chat. So what do you think of this whole tragedy here? I mean, this whole sort of conflict.
I mean, I
Is there
feel like we
anything we can
jumped
learn from
around
it?
a lot. I feel like there wasn't
Don't we always?
there wasn't like a huge through line necessarily. I mean, the through line is that the anti-woke community, quote unquote, is divided, and they don't know where they want to go, or rather, different people want to go different directions with it. And like, I'm gonna be the cuck soy liberal SJW guy here, and say that diversity is our strength. Okay, I think
Oh, fuck all of that.
that there's I think there's room for all types. I think that that Christians and Muslims and atheists and liberals and conservatives and everybody should just chill the fuck out. Society requires a lot of different types of personality traits and personality types, and those are going to manifest themselves as like different ideologies to some extent, and that's all fine as long as everybody at the end of the day should be committed to American liberal democracy, baby. If you're an American,
Not everyone agrees with that.
Yeah,
How do
baby.
you get everyone on board with those ideas?
You're never going to be able to, right? Because society is always going to consist of people who have a little bit more ambition towards power, and they're going to try and manipulate that, or they have like ideological predispositions like towards totalitarianism, right? There's always going to be people like that in society, but they have free speech, right? So
That was a month.
they can exist too, but we all have to, the vast majority of people at least have to, I think, rally around being able to live and let live. Just you don't like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the gay character really offends you. That's fucking great, man. Don't buy the game, okay? And then like if other people buy it and they enjoy it, that's okay too. And like the world will keep spinning, and tomorrow you'll forget about this because it doesn't really matter. Focus on the things that matter. Enjoy a great artistic experience with video games. Phenomenal. Go spend time with your family. Go to church. Go do whatever it is you want to do. Live your best life. Live your values, and like don't worry so much about what other people do if they're not hurting you, hurting other people.
Yeah. Well, I can keep this going a little bit. Your little speech gave me a little bit of energy here. There's a couple of things within this that I did take notes on that's really going to come together. I'm going to probably, I don't know. I'm going to message him and say I'm sorry. Because I did say they could come on if they want. And I didn't see them in chat because my chat went
Not
screwy.
ever talk about other people's voices ever again. When your English sounds like the parrot from Aladdin being strangled by the culture war, which
Here.
again, you also allegedly don't
Put
care
this
about,
up.
with KCD 2 being heavily featured in your discussion. Yet you got at me
Good.
for talking about hot topics of the week, which, by the way, is talked about on a podcast among other people besides me, and some of the topics are not solely based on my interest, but rather what everyone else would like to discuss. What I talk about in my regular videos is not always the same as what's talked about on my podcast, just for the record.
You were just talking about Avowed. I will walk you through what I just talked about. Let me hold your hand.
Yeah, he had some good points in here early on. Tachyon, this applies to psychopolitical cushion for people who want to know their thoughts and feelings are not in isolation.
Yeah,
Things like that.
I saw his chat comment. Like after you mentioned the chat issue. But I don't know what that was referring to because that was so long ago in the stream.
Yeah.
And here.
I'm looking through it.
Veilguard, RPG. Veilguard Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 Action RPG. Avowed RPG. What do those things have in common? What do these games have in common, chat?
This is where you got even more pissed off. It was evident by your body language. At least that I can understand clearly without having to read subtitles.
Like the body language arguments, I always find those fucking ridiculous as all hell. I think the only reason I brought up this, I'm not going to be able to get back on track. My notes are a mess at the end of the day.
We've committed. We made it this far. Okay, we're 34 minutes and 7 seconds. Not really, but we'll run with it into the stream. Let's do it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Which, by the way, you should not ever talk about other people's voices ever again. When your English sounds like the parrot from Aladdin being strangled by Jafar. We know why.
That's just being a dick. You don't have to go that route.
That's fine. He's mad that she did her horrible stream, and her stream was horrible.
You talked about Avowed. It was a hot topic of the week and an RPG with controversy surrounding DEI. Now here you went on about how Avowed is an RPG and how it's a common theme in your channel. But hold on a second. ¿Qué es eso? This RPG? Dustborn? RPG? RPG? RPG?
What the-
RPG?
Oh, fucking hell. This is just like painful.
Why did not Revenant make a video on Hypnotic? They always make videos about me. Hypnotic, come here. Where are you? What? Explain it to me. When you have 90% the same fucking ideas than I do, and you say them, and you're meaner than I am, and you make more videos about them than I do, why do they come after me? Can you explain that to me? Why do they think they're gonna win against me?
Why do you need other people to fight your battles? I thought you were a big girl.
I'm an adult. I'm a big girl.
But now you're trying to get Hypnotic involved, which if he wants to get involved, then fine. I don't fear him.
He won't get involved in the end of the day. That's hilarious.
I
That's
don't know
probably
who
why I wanted
Hypnotic
to
is.
highlight this.
I don't know
You
these
wanna
people.
know.
Is
Yeah, well, I
Hypnotic
totally
a
fucked
big
this up.
YouTuber?
He's a rising star in the fucking anti-woke thing. He does waifu wars. It's all such wonderful, wonderful mess. Oh,
Or any
fuck.
other YouTubers. And you think my response video to you was because you're a woman or something? When that's false, because I've made response videos to plenty of male YouTubers and also larger channels. In fact, you and Mounty Mac are the only two female YouTubers I've ever responded to so far. Also, people have made response videos to me without me even mentioning them whatsoever. But keep acting like a centrist feminist with a victim mentality. You're not a special flower that can't be criticized, and this won't be the first or last time someone does it. Welcome to YouTube. Funny you mentioned that Hypnotic has 90% the ideas you have, but kept saying during your 2-hour and 26-minute stream that I have no opinion or thoughts of my own, and how much you think for yourself. But you outright confirmed just there that you don't have your own opinion or thoughts. After all, you both have 90% of the same talking points. Or are you trying?
Hilarious. Yeah, she sort of does expose like 90% of the same views as Hypnotic. That sort of is a dumbass thing to bring up. That's
There
all I'll
is,
say.
yeah, there is a I don't know enough about like Hypnotic. I don't even know who. I didn't even know he was a YouTuber until a minute ago. But there's like a weird thing too. Like I'm sure you've noticed that like every streamer who starts off, including me, like, sounds exactly like Destiny or Hassan, right? Depending on which community they're part of.
You know, they try to sound like a certain voice or a thing like that at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Well, it's not. It's
How they-
just, I guess because they start off like as fans, and so they're like, oh, I could do that too, and they start making their own content. But like because they've been watching, Destiny for 10 years, they've like adopted a lot of his like mannerisms and
Oh,
stuff.
trust me. I will eventually have that sort of thing within there. Okay.
Trying to say that Hypnotic doesn't have his own opinion or thoughts. Who's copying who? Which one is it?
I don't know why they go after the women and ignore the minorities. I want to know why they didn't tag you on that. Oh, Cage? Oh, do you know Jempachi? Oh, they're boyfriends. He also called you out in that video. Surprisingly, it's just Cage and me. Why? Why? It's given incel. It's given... Why? But then he talked about Atreus as well. Like he used Atreus' like clips. But he didn't tag Atreus in that one. And he didn't tag you in that video where he put like tweets of you.
I referenced the thing is called Classic Cage said on X. The video wasn't necessarily in response to her. Just like in my KCD2 videos, in my first response video to you, I showed images of me replying to Pratenga, who is not a female, last I checked. I didn't tag people for simply showing an image briefly of what they say.
Oh, this is just straight out madness. You gotta love the sort of logic within his video here. And I'm sort of just treading water.
So-
Your thoughts on all this stuff now
So
that
how are centrists like the woke? Vincent, can you tell me?
I don't know. I don't have that perspective. Okay, some people consider me a centrist. I consider myself just strong against anti identity politics and sort of power pushes in the end of the day.
So here's something. I'm gonna roast you and myself a little bit. Us enlightened centrist types Because I think you are kind of an enlightened centrist. Like you and I probably like agree like 90% on a lot of this stuff.
Probably
the gaming,
not 70, maybe.
The gaming culture war. You think so?
Okay, maybe on the gaming culture war.
Yeah.
I think
Politics
the
generally,
political views and
we diverge.
yeah.
Yeah. The gaming culture
Like,
war, we agree on a lot. But like but like we talk about how we criticize everybody. We try and like have principles, but like when was the last time you made a stream like this attacking the woke people, Vincent?
You're right. I didn't attack the woke. Okay. Except for that I don't do streams on that. I mean, I have plans
or
for the
video
woke.
video,
Okay.
to be fair. Like when was the last time you did a video attack?
Oh, I have plenty of videos on the woke. Okay. You want to take a look at my channel? You want to do a
Hey, I asked you when, not 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah, when was the last
Recently?
anti-woke one? Yeah.
Yeah, Kavanagh led in his Tinky Insanity show. I don't know if you want to consider Cosmonaut Variety Hour woke. He definitely has a progressive spin to it. I go all over the place. Yeah, I have been going against, here's a woke person, a they, them, and I consider certain people on the other side woke, right? Okay, does that count or doesn't count because it's the woke?
Well, sorry, I meant woke left. Yeah, woke right.
Okay,
you're still
that's not fully
you're punching right, but I agree. It's basically the same thing. But I guess
it was 2 years ago.
For me,
I've been on anti-woke right arc, so I'm an asshole in
Wait,
general.
how long has it been? 2 years since your last anti-woke video?
If you're excluding these ones as not anti-woke enough, because the woke are sort of down there.
Are they left wing? Are they left wing creators? Like even if they're not woke. Okay, I'll count it. I'll count it. Yeah, I'll count it.
He's a tanky.
Tanky is not really woke. It's a different philosophy, but like it's still bad. I'll count it.
It's pretty fucking bad. This is like a sheesh. And I have one planned for that at the end of the day. What about you? You have any videos or stream against the woke?
So I don't know how you want to count this because I guess technically winning a hearts and minds. Actually, the video, it looks like an anti-GamerGate video because it's with an anti-GamerGate person, but it's me like debating her for 16 minutes. But the stream itself was recorded a year and a half ago. So like, does that count as a recent video if I just uploaded it, but it was recorded that long ago?
I don't know.
But
I don't know about any of this crap at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't know
seeing
either.
My views. Oh God. Fucking hell. Yeah, let's finish with this.
Yeah, let's do it.
There is a few more
I don't think many
points.
people do that anyway. But do you tag people that you show in your videos? Did you tag Stevens or Mr. Matty Plays? I know you didn't tag me in your 2 hour and 26
I
minute
tagged
stream
everyone,
about
but
me.
I wasn't
That's the
fucking
Cold
in. I didn't see my fucking chat. Oh, such a fucking oofs. Oh God.
Just I would. You apologize to him.
How will I ever live it down? How will I ever live it down, though,
But
Tachyon?
regardless,
Just have another stream with him. Do a stream with him next week.
in fact, it was obvious. But that's okay.
And me too, of
because
course.
I responded days after you tried to be disingenuous and passive aggressive with me over a back and forth about KCD2, which was extremely
I don't
childish,
know.
by the way. I could tell that it really bothered you that I challenged you on certain takes you would have, such as you simping for Starfield. So your stance on KCD2 was not surprising.
Hello.
That's what I did a stream on him last time. His sort of I think I'm just closing out with this. I'm too bad, man. And I'm actually losing my voice, I think. This is a bad day to stream anyways. I'm going to have to make apologies and other crap like that. Just sometimes you get to a point in the stream where you get to a discovery and you're like, I was ignoring chat the whole fucking time, and you're just reeling and you just can't recover from that.
Do you know what you need to do?
So,
you need to do this. Your
Okay, tell me.
fandom take, okay? I think you need to host a panel on this. Because I think
On what?
you'd get a really good discussion about whether or not fandom is bad and like people should abandon it. Or I don't know, is that your view even? I think your view is something along the lines of that people become too obsessed with the creative properties that they like, and because of that, a lot of things become distorted, right? One, they have like different like expectations for the fandom that like that don't align with other people, especially since like other people are coming into the fandom through different things, right? If you're like Resident Evil, right? If you got into Resident Evil in like 1996, I believe that's when the game came out. Shoot me if I'm not. Don't actually shoot me. But like Resident Evil, if you got into like Resident Evil with like the original survival horror versus like someone who just picked up like Resident Evil 7 the other day for the first time, like you're coming at like this fandom from like two completely different like views of what the games should look like. Or if you got into it from the movies, then you're like in a whole other fucking world, right? Depending on which movie it was, if it's like the live action ones. And so like all these people have different ideas about like what Resident Evil should be, and if they don't get their way, then they're upset or whatever. Like I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like that you would view that as being like a toxic kind of relationship, that people don't have the right kind of relationship they should have with their artistic and entertainment consumption, and that's because of fandoms. I think that's your view, right?
Absolutely. Well, the parasocial relationship can go with both content creators, fandoms, too guarded, too entitled. They feel like if you pay money into it, yeah, of course you should get something out of what you paid for. But the things change during time. Things evolve. Okay, expecting things to stay frozen in time and to cater to every little whim because you help build it up. I could feel a lot of FromSoft players with like Elden Ring felt betrayed because it wasn't as good. It's just like sometimes it's not going to be to your liking. Sometimes there really is activists or other corporate interests that sort of fuck up your particular IP. You need to be able to abandon it and put your money other places. You can't be locked in, or else they have a stranglehold on these people, it seems like. And of course, my voice is given
do
out.
they
if you can't
though?
tell.
Yeah, we can end it if you want. But like,
They don't
they have a
really.
string?
It's like
Yeah, they
abusive
don't.
relationship.
But like,
people aren't able to move on from this shit.
But at the same time, I think there is something kind of, I don't know about beautiful, but yeah, let's say beautiful. Fuck it. There's something beautiful about being able to appreciate a specific franchise, and that you like what they've done with it, the creative decisions that they've made, and you feel certain things about it. You make art, people feel certain things, and I think that having like having a moderate attachment to it, where it's like, you know what, yeah, I'm a fan of this, I really like it, I think that these qualities about it are good, I think that that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and if that makes someone happy, like, who are we to say that like they're wrong to feel that way?
Matter what they do with it. Okay, you attack, you fucking go after the wrong people because you feel like they've wronged you personally in some way. You just
that's not required.
It's a matter
though.
of what you do. It's not required, but it's about going too crazy with the fandom. Okay, fucking did you play the record backwards and it tell you to kill a president like the Beatles supposedly did? That's a little bit too into it. Okay, and just go off your rocks.
But I'm
probably good.
But at the same time, like I think there's there is a valid point too, right? In that, yes, you shouldn't expect it to stay the same forever. Like part of, but is it letting, like, can you ever like not be a fan of something that you like are a fan of? Like I grew up with the Star Wars movies. I like Star Wars, I guess. I think there's a lot of good things in the media universe and like a lot of bad things too. But like, can I ever like not be a fan? Like even if, because I still like the original films that I saw, right? So even if I hate all the new stuff that comes out, I'm still a fan of the originals, right? So like I'm still a fan. Like, can you ever like get rid of that?
Yeah.
Without like changing your view, I guess, of all the works.
You can just in your mind, just imagine retcon, okay? You can do your own fan stuff. In the fandom, you can do fanfic, okay? If you really get into it, you can make the Star Wars Theory did his own fanfic film. Then he got hit by Disney for copyright or some bullshit like that. I could understand that can
Well,
make
Disney's
someone really
super
like,
aggressive.
yeah, Disney. These corporations are fucking with the fans in some way. Nintendo's pissing off fans all the time with all their legal maneuvers. A lot of these corporations do the same ass shit.
Oh yeah, Nintendo's terrible. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm cutting off the stream because I am losing my voice.
All right. Well, you know what you can do?
Fuck up.
You don't have to talk, Vince.
Yeah,
It's okay. You can
plug
read
your stuff.
You can
Plug-
read. Oh, I was gonna say you could read my book. Yeah. So hey,
you wanted me to review your book. I don't know how to review your book. You can send me a digital copy. I don't know.
Wait,
I'm just trying to figure out a way to sort of do
give
this.
me your email address, or I can just send it over Discord. That's fine. But yeah, hey everyone, if you're not completely bored of me, I'm Tachyon Blue. I'm a YouTuber. I'm also on Kick and Twitch. I'm also an author. I've written The People of Gamergate Volume 1. It's my recently released book, came out last month. I've interviewed over 70 people involved with Gamergate on both sides. And I'm trying to document the history of what happened, tell the stories of the people involved, and I tried to approach it from a neutral perspective. And yeah,
Lame.
I just finished Volume 2, so GamerGateBook.com, or my personal website, follow me, TachyonBlue.com. And thank you, Vincent, for having me on. Regardless of what you say, I hate it every minute of the stream. Absolutely atrocious. Won't be coming back.
You.
But yeah,
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Go. Peace
All right.
out. Bye.
Peace out.
And I'm the fuck.
Oh wait, you're live on my end. Shut yourself out too.
I am the biggest screw up in streaming history. Not really. Okay. I always have a fuck up, and it's always fun to go with it. And this is probably one of the most stupid fuck ups that I should have actually checked, because I mean, sometimes I don't get chatters, but yeah, it should have struck me as weird. That's it. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Oh wait, Vincent, real quick. What about the Red Hulk?